Our guest acquired the Leroy Neiman illustration at an auction about 35 years ago. This piece was donated by Hugh Hefner as part of an article Neiman wrote about his travels to Morocco.
He was a very popular artist. He was originally from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Leroy Neiman, originally from St. Paul, Minnesota, was known for his sports-themed artwork and portraits of famous individuals like Muhammad Ali and Sylvester Stallone. He was also an illustrator for Playboy magazine for about 15 years. The artwork, featuring a young American woman and a Moroccan woman,
In 3 of the Rocky movies because he knew Stallone, so that was kind of quirky. But his other claim to fame is the fact that he was an illustrator for Playboy magazine.
The piece has some condition issues, including a bulge and the signature being below the mat due to slippage. Despite the condition issues, the appraiser values the illustration at
He would probably ask in the range of $10,000.
Really? I paid.
The collection on display features a variety of post-war Italian design items, each with its own unique story and appeal. Among them is a playful lamp by Joe Colombo, known for his adventurous designs. Visually striking but flawed, the lamp causes the paper to bubble when left on for too long.
These are kind of, in some ways, a triumph of form over function.
Yes, very much so.
And yet, some of them don't work very well at all,
No.
do they?
Another standout item is the Valentine typewriter, a classic design from 1959 that fits neatly into its case. The collection also features a $20 charming lamp and a $12 lamp with minor damage. Reflecting the appreciation for post-war design, the estimated value is,
You know, if we add up what you've got on the table, there's probably £400 to £600 worth here collectively.
The guest stumbles upon a stunning dress hanging in a small antique shop. Drawn to its beauty, she'd noticed a label inside, Elizabeth Taylor, with a serial number. This dress graced Elizabeth Taylor at the 1953 Academy Awards. The dress was possibly designed by Edith Head, who was responsible for costumes for A Place in the Sun, a film Taylor starred in. Despite some missing beading and poor preservation, its connection to Taylor adds historical significance.
53 Academy Awards.
And here's one of the photos that you found, which is amazing because there's Miss Taylor, married, of course, to Michael Wilding.
Though Taylor wasn't nominated in 1953, the dress's link to her adds value. Emphasizing its significance as a piece of Hollywood history, it's valued at,
But I would probably put a value of it in the $4,000 to $6,000 range. I think that's much fair.
Our guest acquired the Sugar Chest at an estate sale in 2008 for $50. They were initially attracted to its front design and overall appearance, despite its bumps and bruises. The appraiser identifies the Sugar Chest as a rare Federal, circa 1795 piece.
It was so valuable, and you'd have little hands reaching into it, maybe from children wanting some candy, getting some sugar.
Right?
It features a storage well inside for sugar cones, with a lock to protect the valuable sugar from theft. Made of mahogany, the Sugar Chest stands out for its highly figured wood, including contrasting pieces of,
Actually framed, so we know that this was meant to be used and carried in the center of the room or wherever someone needed the sugar. These handles are original, and people would like to display these because they were proud. You had to be pretty wealthy to have.
The top is described as almost like a picture frame, surrounded by intricate framing details. The delicate legs and overall proportions of the Sugar Chest are noted, along with original handles that indicate its high quality and originality. The piece has survived with its original finish since about 1795. The appraiser highlights the current popularity of Southern furniture and estimates the Sugar Chest auction value at,
On this table today, of $20,000 to $30,000.
Really? That's crazy.
Robert Smithson created the iconic spiral jetty in 1970. Nestled in Utah, this massive rock spiral stretches into the Great Salt Lake, seamlessly merging with nature. It's renowned globally as a symbol of land art, which was planned by Robert Smithson. Heavy machinery and hard work shaped the spiral jetty's construction. Smithson deliberately placed it in a remote area, offering a deep natural experience. Smithson meticulously documented its creation, ensuring its enduring legacy since completion in 1970. Despite its remoteness, the jetty draws global visitors, showcasing art's universal appeal. The collection can fetch a value ranging from
The collection altogether is $47,500.
That's pretty staggering.
These miniatures have been in the family for a few generations and were collected by the guest father's grandfather, who was an avid collector of books and manuscripts. These miniatures date from the 17th to the late 18th century and include portraits of historical figures, such as the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah and Nader Shah, the conqueror of the Mughal Empire. The appraiser notes the miniatures' magnificent quality, describing them as having a jewel-like sensibility, referred to as the jeweler's eye. Despite their age, the miniatures are in great condition, particularly the one inside the book. At auction, the appraiser estimates the miniatures could sell at
selling between $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow. These miniatures have been in the family for a few generations and were collected by the guest father's grandfather, who was an avid collector of books and manuscripts. These miniatures date from the 17th to the late 18th century and include portraits of historical figures, such as the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah and Nader Shah, the conqueror of the Mughal Empire. The appraiser notes the miniatures' magnificent quality, describing them as having a jewel-like sensibility, referred to as the jeweler's eye. Despite their age, the miniatures are in great condition, particularly the one inside the book. At auction, the appraiser estimates the miniatures could sell at
auction, I would expect this to end up selling between $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow. Our guest purchased the lithograph at an estate sale 37 years ago. The piece depicts a bird's-eye view of Des Moines, Iowa, with the state capitol sketched in.
It looks to have been added later. In 1856, the Capitol wasn't here yet.
This lithograph was found in the attic of the O'Callanan house, belonging to early Des Moines settlers. The artist, W.R. Wheeler, is known locally, and while this piece may not be entirely accurate, other lithographs by the same artist are known to be authentic representations of Des Moines scenes. According to the book, Views and Viewmakers of America by John Reps, this lithograph is the first bird's-eye view of Des Moines. The publishing company, located in Albany, was primarily known for lithographs of Albany and
by a professor at Cornell University. His name is John Reps, and his book lists hundreds of American bird's-eye views. And according to Reps's book, this is the first bird's-eye view of Des Moines.
The appraiser notes that this particular lithograph is scarce, with only one record of a similar piece being sold about 15 years ago. Despite some flaws, such as tears and spots, the rarity and beauty of the print make it highly desirable. The appraiser estimates its fair retail value to be at
fair retail price would be like $4,000 to $5,000.
This ceramic cat holds sentimental value to the owner, as it was given to her by her husband's great-aunt, who knew of her love for the color blue. The cat has been in the owner's possession for around 20 years. The appraiser, intrigued by the piece, conducted a thorough examination, but found no identifying marks. However, based on the design, colors, and application of colors, the appraiser believes the cat to be
the colors that were used, but the way the colors are applied to this piece. Let's show it in the round. The design is very unusual and to my eye, peculiar to shearwater pottery from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Shearwater pottery, founded in 1928 and destroyed by Hurricane Katrina.
Pottery, primarily run by Walter and Mac Anderson, who did most of the decorating through the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Walter Anderson, considered an artistic genius, was known for his distinctive decorating and design style. The cat's colors, patterns, and the way the clay shows through the characteristic of shearwater pottery. While there isn't an exact match for the cat in the books the appraiser consulted, educated guesses led the conclusion that it's likely a shearwater piece. If the cat is indeed from shearwater pottery, its value at auction could range from
worth $300, $400, $500 at auction. If it's a shearwater cat at auction, I think it's worth between $6,000 and $9,000.
Wow.
It's a big difference, and it's a really good piece.
This is a signature of one of the power couples of the 20th century. Our guest on the show acquired it at an auction.
Bought it in an auction about 27 years ago.
And the next question is, how much did you pay for it?
Believe it or not, it started at $300 the bidding, and I got it for $400.
The manuscript bears the signatures of John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Lennon was an English singer, songwriter, and musician, renowned as the founder, co-songwriter, co-lead vocalist, and rhythm guitarist of the Beatles. Yoko Ono, a Japanese multimedia artist, singer, songwriter, and peace activist, married John Lennon in 1969. They used their honeymoon to stage a protest against the Vietnam War. This is depicted in this photo, along with the signed manuscript. This manuscript holds great significance to the history of America and the public protest against the Vietnam War. It has an estimated value of...
That piece sold for $187,000. Yeah. So things have changed since you bought it back in 1982.
Yeah.
Anything that you can tie back to this particular event.
Explore a cherished pottery collection from the North Dakota School of Mines, featuring prices steeped in sentimentality crafted by the guest mother, grandmother, and instructors. This wild-looking piece was crafted by the guest grandmother, while another simple piece and the Viking ship were crafted by an instructor.
And it says on the bottom, Telemarken, and that's the valley that my grandmother's family came from in Norway. And that's one of my favorite pieces. Then she also made this little cow. They had a herd of Jersey cows, and on the bottom is the cow's name and the year that it was made. Her name is Kari.
The charming cow figurine named Carrie, representing the guest family herd of Jersey cows, was created by the guest grandmother. The ceramics department, established in 1910, promoted clays from North Dakota, including bentonite clay. Bentonite pieces, like those displayed, could be painted and fired simultaneously. Most pieces bear the UND indigo stamp, indicating their provenance. Some pieces were crafted by instructors, such as Margaret Cable and Julius Matson. The appraiser evaluates each piece individually to surprise our guest.
It's probably about $700 to $1,000 at auction. That'll cost it a little bit, but that would be $750 to $1,000. It's the same with this, $750 to $1,000.
Oh my goodness.
About $800 to $1,100 on the cable picture.
Sure.
That's a molded piece, $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Unlike
very
anything
unusual.
else I've really seen done there. That's $1,500 to $2,000.
My grandmother would be just amazed.
The value of the entire collection is estimated at $5,700 to $7,900, with the updated value decreased to $3,500 to $4,500. This Tiffany lamp has a rich history, originating from the great-great-aunt of the current owner who lived in New York City and...
Is on my father's side of the family, it was his great-great-aunt who lived in New York City and was the private secretary to J.C. Penney.
She and her husband were collectors of fine things, including this unique fish-themed Tiffany lamp, which has been passed down through generations and now resides in the owner's home. Unlike typical Tiffany lamps with floral or geometric designs, this lamp features intricate fish motifs. The glass used for the fish is iridescent, giving them a lifelike quality as they swim through the rippled glass.
Glass which is rippled and gives it the look of water. In addition to that, it has these little jewels of glass.
The lamp also incorporates colorful glass jewels and a variety of glass textures, including striated and multicolored glass, adding to its visual appeal. The lamp's base is signed with Tiffany Studios markings, indicating its authenticity. While the socket has been replaced, the value of a Tiffany lamp lies primarily in the shade rather than the base. Despite never discussing its value, an earlier appraisal valued the lamp in the upper 1920s. However, the appraiser reveals that due to its rarity, unusual form, and unique style, the lamp could sell for
would sell on today's market in the vicinity of $100,000. It's a wonderful lamp. You think your family would be surprised?
Yes.
I think they're going to be very surprised.
At first glance at today's item, you would think it was created for royalty. Well, in ancient China, it was created for people of high status. And since this bowl was made from jadeite, a rare and highly revered type of stone, it is surely high quality.
Dynasty from beautiful multicolored jadeite, which was a highly revered stone in China that started to be carved in about the 18th century.
The bowl was likely made between 1890 to 1920. We also have here a type of wood called rosewood, which serves as an anchor and support to properly hold the prized jadeite bowl. Since jadeite is a type of stone used to create items for the upper class of ancient China, this bowl fetches the auction price of...
At auction, currently, this piece would carry a pre-sale estimate of $40,000 to $60,000.
You're kidding.
Going way back in time, the captivating story of this clock is revealed.
For approximately 40 years or more, my father was a clock collector, and he was stationed in Germany in the late 50s, early 60s.
The clock, a cherished heirloom with a delightful secret, features a movement made of steel and brass gearing. Also, it is housed in a case resembling a picture frame, which contains a chromolithograph picture of a Bavarian or Swiss hunter. What sets this clock apart is its automation, adding a whimsical and fun element to the timepiece.
Again, they made many, many clocks in that region, probably hundreds of thousands annually. But what really makes this clock quite special...
However, due to this clock's unique features and automation, it's estimated to be worth...
I could see quite easily selling in a retail shop or at a well-placed auction somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,800 to about $2,000.
Oh, my father would be thrilled.
Here we have a baseball dating back to the 19th century. Our guest inherited it from his grandfather.
Go by my grandfather. It was given to him originally by a groundskeeper that worked for Ebbets Field, which was in Brooklyn, New York, where my grandfather's originally from. They moved to Florida and...
This baseball was used for the commemoration of a baseball game in 1859.
They would commemorate their games and celebrate that they played a game by stamping it as such. But here's what makes this ball interesting.
The baseball game featured the Brooklyn Atlantics, established in 1855. They became one of the founding members of the National Association of Baseball Players. They were also the first champions of an organized baseball league. This ball, although in poor condition, holds significance in the foundation of baseball in America today, and at auction, it will be worth...
At auction, this ball has a value of $20,000 plus.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
We are presented with a vintage Rolex Explorer 2 watch, acquired by this guest from a friend in the early 1980s.
I showed it to him and he says, "That's one of those Steve McQueen Rolexes." So I thought,
This watch is crafted from stainless steel and acrylic crystal glass, specifically designed for cave explorers. It also features a 24-hour bezel, and the hands on the dial are notably large, enabling easier sighting. Interestingly, the watch's dial and hands have been replaced, but the guests also presented the originals that were removed.
And because they've been packed away, the color is wonderful and vibrant. So affectionately known as Steve McQueen, a reference 1655.
Furthermore, this watch is known as a Steve McQueen, and the serial number indicates it was made in 1972. The remarkably preserved condition of this vintage timepiece is truly intriguing. Such an intricately designed piece would, at auction, fetch a tidy sum of...
And the original hands, and with the box and papers, all of a sudden this watch goes from $8,000 to $12,000 to being $18,000 to $24,000.
I'm going to need a security guard, Kevin.
We can get that for you.
Okay.
Here we have an outstanding piece of jewelry. Our guest inherited it from her mother.
It belonged to my mother, and she bought it probably in the early 50s from Louisiana.
This ring is of American origin. It was made of gold of at least 14 carats, with platinum tops which surround the diamonds. It is set with sapphires, totaling 12 1/4 carats, and European cut diamonds of about 6.5 carats. This unique and rare piece of jewelry dates back to the early 20th century. It's in excellent condition, and its value is estimated at...
Without knowing its origin, a fair auction estimate is in the range of $30,000 to $40,000.
Oh my, how exciting.
This unique pottery vase was passed down to the guest from his mother. Crafted in 1890 by the renowned French glass artist Almeric Walter, this ceramic vase is quite unusual. While the artist was known for his expertise in glass art,
Walter worked in Nancy, France. Probably this piece would have been dated around 1900, maybe a little bit before. And mostly what we see on the roadshow are Pat de Verre pieces, which are actually glass pastes.
This piece demonstrates his versatility in pottery making.
Glass paste forced into a mold and some really amazing creations. We see a fair amount of that. I think, from what I can tell talking to my colleagues, this may be the first piece of A. Walter pottery that we've seen on the roadshow.
Featuring soft pastel colors and deep, long lines, this charming vase resembles the aesthetics of glasswork. With its high level of skill and uniqueness, this beautiful piece of pottery at auction would bring...
Okay. Well, it's not too far off. I think probably an auction value on it would be more like $900 to $1,200.
Okay. Many great pieces of art have iconic names, but this particular one, nicknamed Granny Grump, is as unique as it is thrilling. Attributed to being drawn by Sheldon Peck, there's a uniqueness that you can attribute to this particular painting.
And he cleaned the whole area. We weren't even aware of the fact that she had this either bow or hat on, and at first we could only tell that she had a little bit of this white sort of bib on.
You can see that aside from the obvious grumpiness, there's also a gaze in the sitter's eye, which is characteristic of Sheldon's paintings. The painting was probably created between 1830 to 1835 and is likely depicting some sort of special regional characteristic or costume type. Only a few artists have subtle details that can be used to identify their paintings, which is why this particular masterpiece auctions at...
The price at auction would probably bring around $30,000.
Wow, I'm impressed. It's going to go right back where it was and it's going to stay there.
This Roseville sunflower vase sparked a significant interest in American ceramics after a Peter Mayle's A Year in Provence was published. The vase boasts lush sunflowers against a backdrop of rich greenery. After spotting a similar vase in a book, the guest discovers one in their lakeside cottage.
Guest cabin?
Yes, it's in a cottage that we have at the lake. I saw a picture of it in a book, and I said to my husband, don't we have a vase like that?
The vase bears a paper label with the number 492. The paper label, a typical Roseville mark from the 1920s, suggests the vase dates to around 1925 to 1930. The vase's value lies in its strong mold and exceptional example of the sunflower line. Despite some one-of-a-kind trial pieces that may exceed its rarity, it's valued at...
Valuation somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 on a pot like this.
This rare and captivating wall map showcased the rich history of America, a true treasure from the early 19th century. This piece was crafted by a professional American cartographer, Osgood Carleton. Carleton created this map as an update to his 1791 version.
This is from around 1806. His information, especially in New England, which is where he studied and where he did most of his work, is very, very detailed, very up to date.
What makes this map particularly valuable is its early date, making it one of the earliest wall maps of the United States.
Issue with this map. It is fixable. You are missing some surface. If you look up in this area, especially where it's gotten worn, but there's really not much printed information.
However, Carleton's detailed information, especially in New England where he studied, adds to its appeal with a price value of...
How it comes. Now, if it was in perfect shape, you're talking about maybe $16,000 map.
Wow, I had no idea.
A guest brings in a fascinating mechanical apparatus resembling a hospital bed. It is a concept model with a crank for adjusting the back and detachable cushions. The guest grandfather, a 1918 graduate of the Medical College of Charleston, got it from an inventor friend.
My granddad was a doctor who graduated from the Medical College of Charleston in 1918, and among his associates...
The item bears patent papers dating back to 1909. indicating its age and significance. It is a marvel of mechanical engineering, possibly created to interest a manufacturer. It is intricate, like a salesman's sample, but lacks maker's marks.
A salesman's sample is always going to have some identification marks on it, the maker. This is an intricate model, probably made to interest a manufacturer.
Though its mass production is uncertain, its complexity and craftsmanship make it highly desirable. Its value at auction was estimated.
I would say at auction, this could easily bring $3,000 to $5,000.
Wow, and I thought it was a toy.
Neil Ball's place in baseball history is secured not by a plaque in Cooperstown, but by a loving cup and a cherished family memory. Presented by the guest, the great niece of Neil Ball, these items tell the story of an unassisted triple play, the first of its kind in Major League Baseball. Ball, a utility player who bounced around the league from 1907 to 1912, etched his name in the record books on July 19, 1909. The Loving Cup, awarded by the Cleveland Plain Dealer newspaper, commemorates the feat.
To him on the 20th of 1909, so it was really the next day. My husband polished it up, bless his soul.
It looks like it was brand new, but look, it's over a century old here, and I love that.
A single play that retired 3 Boston Red Sox base runners.
Players that were involved, Amby McConnell,
Yes.
Heine Wagner, and Jake Stahl.
Yes. They played for Boston and such Cleveland. These were all American League teams.
All items here are amazing, but the trophy represents something far greater. The appraiser estimates the memorabilia to be worth.
It's going to put an auction estimate on this group.
Yes.
I would probably put $12,000 to $15,000.
Thousand?
Mm-hmm.
This guest presents a gold quartz cane shrouded in the midst of its time. Its origin is identified in Camden, Arkansas, and its creation sometime between 1927 and 1928. This period and location hold particular interest for collectors of Arkansas pottery. It belonged to the guest's great-grandfather, who held the esteemed position of mayor in San Francisco. While acknowledging the historical significance of the cane's past owner,
It was my grandfather's grandfather that had it. And as I understand it, he was the first alcalde of San Francisco.
the appraiser highlights its true worth lies in its artistic merit. The use of gold quartz elevates the cane beyond a mere walking stick, transforming it into a valuable collectible. At auction, this amazing artwork is worth a staggering
You'd have no problem at $40,000.
Wow.
a Civil War uniform, steeped in history and marked by time, presented by the guest. He explains how the uniform, along with others from World War I and II, arrived in her family's possession. A thoughtful gift from a neighbor eager to share his family's military legacy. The uniform itself was once worn by Edward Kelsey, a Civil War soldier. Moth holes and tears mar the fabric, a testament to the passage of time. Edward Kelsey, as it turns out, served not on the battlefield, but as a vital part of the support system, a hospital steward. The uniform's most significant detail is a chevron, a badge that denotes Kelsey's role.
Pattern because of several details. If you see here, the photograph that you have of him is actually, he's wearing a different uniform in the photo.
Oh, okay.
Hospital stewards are typically chosen from civilians with medical experience. A conservative auction estimate today would be
A conservative auction estimate today would be $8,000 to $10,000.
For this? Oh my goodness.
a vibrant textile artwork, a kaleidoscope of colors and textures presented to the show. The guest recounts its serendipitous acquisition in 1998, a love-at-first-sight purchase from a Santa Fe shop.
She said, well, take it down because I want that. So the little that we know about it is
Hand-embroidered fragments, possibly sourced from the collars and cuffs of dignitary wives' dresses, are said to comprise the artwork. The intriguing notion of 24-karat gold thread adds another layer to the mystery. This is the North Indian equivalent of an American crazy quilt, a vibrant tapestry constructed from various fabric pieces. The fabric segments range from the 19th to the 20th centuries. The appraiser estimated the piece could fetch a remarkable
I would say at a good auction or in a decorative showroom, you could see this thing easily at $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful.
An amazing lady purse was bought to be appraised. It is a gift from a paramour to the guest's aunt, a performer at the Moulin Rouge in Paris. The absence of a signature, a hallmark of Cartier's meticulous branding, indicates that it is not a Cartier creation.
Their company made it for them, so I don't think it's Cartier, but I think it's fabulous.
A closer look unveils a hidden story within the unfinished compartment. The intricate floral design is the result of painstaking craftsmanship, pierced meticulously by a jeweler's saw and then engraved. The rich gold tone undergoes testing, revealing it to be 14 carats, adorned with diamonds and sapphires. The appraiser estimates the piece's creation around 1890. At auction, it would be estimated in the range of
I think that this would sell somewhere in the range of $3,000 to $4,000.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Only a few people in the world could draw an oil painting like Frank Schoonover. With this being no different, we can see the painting represents action and life. This was one of the distinct features of Frank's paintings, and he always had the inspiration to draw beautiful illustrations such as this.
And early on, he became quite successful doing covers for magazines and books and illustrations for stories and magazine stories.
Unlike many artists who lack the credibility to back up their expertise, Frank was privileged to learn from one of the great American illustrators, Howard Pyle.
Death of Empire was the title of the story. It's a wonderful illustration.
This experience went on to shape Frank's painting career. As the illustration market is a booming one in the antique world, this painting auctions at an estimate of,
again, easily and perhaps conservatively, I would say an insurance value of $75,000.
Oh, great.
A collection of vintage professional sports pins were exhibited by this guest. He inherited the collection from his grandfather, who was a sports writer. Included in this collection are sports pins from 1936 to 1953. This collection encompasses World Series, NFL championships, and All-Star games spanning multiple years.
Able to be a sports writer, really in probably one of the sweetest times to be a sports writer in New York. You had the Yankees. It seemed like they were in virtually every World Series.
We can see pins from the Yankees, as well as pins from the Giants and Brooklyn Dodgers. Professional sports pins are valued based on their age, condition, and the team that they represent. Fortunately, this collection contains pins from many remarkable teams and also carries the provenance of the guest's grandfather, thereby enhancing its value to be
It would be an auction value of about $15,000 individually.
in the hushed corridors of power, where words shaped history. This archive is a remarkable collection of memorabilia that offers a unique glimpse into the workings of the 34th U.S. President, Dwight Eisenhower. One of the most intriguing aspects of this collection is Eisenhower's handwritten notes to McCann, his special assistant and speechwriter, regarding various speeches.
Are in Eisenhower's hand. These are notes from Eisenhower to Kevin McCann regarding several speeches that he will be delivering.
This collection, a treasure trove of documents and photographs, offers a rare peek into the meticulous process of crafting presidential speeches.
Here and here too is for a speech that Eisenhower gave at the Carpenters and Joiners Union's 75th anniversary dinner.
Overall, every piece of this archive tells a story of dedication and artistry in shaping the words of a leader, and its worth is,
I would give this collection an auction value of $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, wow.
For the group. Yeah,
that's great.
perhaps one of the best gifts from different cultures was this German box, because they were made by a unique tribe called Pennsylvania Germans.
Through the 19th century. It was either a trinket or document box. It's a full-blown example of all of the great qualities of Pennsylvania German.
In reality, the Pennsylvanian Germans are just a group of Germans who immigrated to America around 1653. We have here a Pennsylvania German box, which is handmade, but still quality, and was created to keep its contents, such as documents, dry. Drawings are also situated on the box and were surprisingly made with compasses. The decorations were also expertly crafted to make sure it covered the whole box. For an item both old and durable, this historical box would auction at
Auction value of this piece, small ones tend to sell for $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 and $10,000. Would probably be worth somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000.
Wow.
So I am really thrilled.
I'm afraid to carry it.
Now you have to drive really carefully home.
In a stroke of luck, this guest found this frog bank while setting mouse traps around her house 20 years ago.
Trapped down, and I'm crawling back out, and I looked up, and it's just an odd shape caught my eye.
This mechanical frog bank was made by the J&E Stevens Company in Cromwell, Connecticut. Furthermore, this particular bank was one of the earliest made by J&E, circa 1873. Called the Frog on Latticework Bank, this is a fascinating piece. The frog bank was crafted from iron. It features a pink latticework around it.
Most of the time, the lattice work is in different colors.
Pressing the frog's foot opens its mouth, where a coin would be placed to save it. Over time, this piece has lost some of its colors. An antique mechanical bank like this is highly desirable by collectors, and it's estimated to be worth
It's worth between $800 and $1,200.
Oh my God.
So this frog truly is a prince.
Wow.
This Austrian monumental vase is a stunning piece with a rich history.
Italy or Austria, and my grandmother has had it all the years until she passed away with my mother.
Standing at an impressive 22 inches tall and about 6.5 inches in diameter, this vase is a true testament to exquisite craftsmanship. Made in Austria around 1910, it features heavy gilt gold applied work with enamel flowers, creating a luxurious and ornate experience. What sets this vase apart is its design, which falls between two distinct periods of Moser-style glass.
The gilt gold looks similar, and in the 1950s, they did away with a lot of the gilt gold, and the flowers were just bigger, and the colors, the emerald greens, are different.
However, this vase is not just a beautiful decorative piece, but a valuable heirloom that's worth
I would estimate this at auction for $3,500 to $4,500.
Great. That's super. It's nice to know.
This awe-inspiring vintage painting was acquired by the guest's parents at a yard sale in Chicago. The painting was created by Gertrude Abercrombie, an American painter based in Chicago, popularly known as the Queen of Bohemian Artists.
There. She also has a lot of associations with jazz. Dizzy Gillespie actually played at her second.
Additionally, the piece is signed and dated 1945. It is an oil-on-panel painting. Abercrombie is well known for her surrealist painting, such as the one displayed. Depicted in this painting are an owl, the moon, clouds, and a cup placed on a table in a barren scenery.
Dizzy Gillespie actually played at her second wedding.
Oh, wow.
She's known for these surrealist paintings.
This painting, being one of the works of such an exemplary artist and in such pristine condition, would auction at a price of
Give it an estimate of $8,000 to $12,000.
Wow.
At first sight, this bowl looks like an ordinary, usual wooden bowl, but it was in fact crafted from the burlwood tree.
And from what you're saying, it's pretty accurate information. It is a burl, which, is a big formation at the bottom of a tree, usually sometimes on the side of a tree.
Which is a special kind of tree in which the grain grows in a deformed manner. This bowl was crafted from this tree likely in the year of 1830. It was used by Native Americans as a ceremonial feasting vessel for serving food and for blotting corn and beans at meetings. One of the primary reasons burlwood was used is because it doesn't split, nor does it crack due to its durability. As burlwood was prominently used by the Native Americans, It is an early representation of their culture, and so this bowl auctions at the price of.
If it came up at an auction, I would think it would easily make between $12,000 and $15,000. Wow.
On display is a silver bowl presented by this guest. This piece was made by the Gorham Company in Rhode Island. Interestingly, Gorham is well known for its exceptional craftsmanship. Additionally, the silverware features two handles and is called the trophy. It also boasts a round base and some silver floral designs. It's in perfect condition, and with its rich silver qualities, this piece is estimated to be worth.
Retail setting would be $25,000 to $30,000.
Oh my gosh, wow.
When you talk about the French, the first thing that comes to mind is their design, and they've always been at the pinnacle of the design industry. Even in the 1770s, they were at the top, and this is confirmed thanks to this French brocade dress.
Brocade, you have to remember that at this time in America, fabrics were very, very expensive.
Brocade dresses are fresh, patterned fabrics used as an ornamental garment. This kind of dress was especially created for royalty.
It's a nice fitted waist with a peigne skirt, which means it accentuates the small waist and makes the hips look fuller.
There are also well-detailed additions made to the dress to show the expertise of its maker. This dress represents French elegance and exquisite taste for quality, and this makes it auction at.
Today, I think in a really high-quality shop, it would sell from somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000.
Goodness.
From the quaint hills of New Hampshire emerges a lap desk with a legacy, once owned by Artemus Ward, who was an American major general in the American Revolutionary War.
Be a congressman from Massachusetts. And what's so interesting about this collection is you really see this material from the 18th and through the 19th century.
Piece offers a glimpse into the life and times of a prominent figure from the Revolutionary War era.
Through the centuries, and we move into the 19th century. Want to just read that paragraph for us?
Certainly.
Also, the archive provides a first-hand account of significant events and a personal relationship with Ward and his family. Additionally, this English-made lap desk, likely from the early mid-19th century, contains a treasure trove of documents and artifacts. However, these artifacts, along with the lap desk and documents, offer a comprehensive view of early New England history and are valued at.
I think I would expect to pay in the $2,000 to $4,000 range for the whole package.
Wonderful. I'm thrilled. Thank you. It's so nice to have an answer to this.
Witness the story of a treasured amethyst necklace once owned by the famous Lillie Langtry. Now owned by a New Jersey family, it has been handed down through the years. Intriguingly, the necklace's journey began in 1929, the same year as Langtry's passing. Langtry's love for amethyst reflects the affection of its past owners. Through its journey, we glimpse the dazzling life of Lillie Langtry, from actress to socialite. Despite uncertainties, its Siberian amethyst and Art Deco cut radiate undeniable elegance. However, doubts arise as the necklace's mounting showcases late 1920s craftsmanship. According to the paperwork, it is a Victorian stone repurposed for the necklace. Mounting is platinum, and spring ring clasp is 14-karat white gold. As we trace the necklace's lineage, we stumble upon the enigmatic figure of Harold A. Brown. Although lacking royal endorsements, it fetches.
But nonetheless, the fair auction value is $3,000 to $5,000. Okay.
The guest presented a powder horn they acquired through trade, mentioning his family's history as horse traders and his own experience trading various items since the 1960s. He acquired the powder horn in the 1970s, trading Indian jewelry or turquoise for it, with an estimated value of $1,200 to $1,300 at the time. The appraiser examined the powder horn, noting its intricate engraving and craftsmanship. The top part of the horn was made of an old leather strap, giving the perception of the horn as being very old. However, the top part was made as a fix to hold the bottom part, making both pieces separate rather than being one single piece carved as a horn. At the bottom, there was a holder, really almost like a drawer pull. He concluded it was a modern creation, likely made by combining parts from different sources. Despite its modern origin, the appraiser acknowledged its artistic value and estimated its worth at
that you would say it's probably worth $1,200 to $1,500 in today's marketplace to a collector who would say, wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful copy.
Widely regarded as one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln was celebrated for many key achievements. But what many folks don't know is that in 1860, a life mask of him was made.
Lay there for over 30 years.
This is a life mask of Abraham Lincoln.
Although odd, at the time, life masks were created for record keeping, and it was believed that from a life mask, the skull and facial features could be used to explain an individual's character. Of course, we can see that it was created by an expert, as it closely resembles the real figure. As such, for the accurate representation of an icon of American history, the life mask will auction at
I would estimate that this would probably be worth somewhere in the $1,500 to $2,000 range.
Good gracious.